127, progress. It is Thursday, March 4th, and there were supposed to be House representatives in business today, but they weren't because they were canceled. They were canceled by MAGA terrorists. That's right, right-wing terrorists. So we learned from the FBI and DHS was planning to attack the Capitol and kill Democratic lawmakers on March 4th because they believe that's the day Donald Trump was going to be sworn in as president, because under the original Constitution, March 4th is when the president was sworn in. That changed in the 20th Amendment to, as we know now, January 20th. Got to ask you a question. No Congress there, no House representatives. Have you heard Republicans in one loud voice denounce the terrorists who are threatening the Capitol? Have you heard them denounce the Proud Boys and QAnon and the militia groups in one voice, loudly and by name? No, of course not. The silence is deafening. Let me give you a little insight into the GOP's mindset so you understand what's going on. For years, as a Muslim American, it was demanded by the right upon me and every other Muslim in America. Anytime a Muslim anywhere did something bad, we had to denounce it, because they said if we didn't denounce it, it meant we agreed with it. That's their mindset. If you don't denounce something bad, you must agree with it. I'm not applying the same thing to them. I'm telling you that's how they think. So when they're intentionally not denouncing the terrorists, the MAGA terrorists, they're telling you they need them, want them, or worse, agree with them. I don't care what it is of those three. It's the same. They're complicit with terrorism. What we're seeing today, what we saw on January 6th, will continue until Donald Trump is imprisoned, and every single person, even members of Congress who are involved, and report today from CNN, the FBI is going through communications between members of Congress and people who were arrested, the rioters, to see if we're going to find evidence of seditious conspiracy. But if the evidence is found, and only then, not a political prosecution, if the evidence, they must be prosecuted. Donald Trump, the evidence is abundant. He should be indicted already and prosecuted. It's beyond me that why the United States of America, this man can walk free. But here's the thing. A lot of times in the past, myself and others have been outraged by the bigots in the GOP and demanded they be removed from committees and thrown out of Congress. Nope. I've come to the conclusion, if I have a choice between the quiet GOP bigot who wants violence or the really loud in your face GOP racist bigot who wants violence, I prefer the latter, because that's who the GOP is. I want America to see who this party is. We are going through dangerous times. It's not a game. It's not partisan spin. It's not politics as normal. We are dealing with a GOP which is harboring, supporting, and animating terrorism. It's going to continue. Nothing's going to change it unless there's massive arrests and prosecutions. So here's the thing. And you have people who are actually seen as more reasonable Republicans now full Trumpian. Josh Mandel, you probably don't know his name. He's the former he's the former state treasurer in Ohio, a Republican. He just announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate there. It's an open seat. Rob Portman's not running for re-election. In his announcement a few weeks ago, as he gave a reason why he was running, it wasn't, I'm running to help the people of Ohio. It wasn't, I'm going to do and fight a battle for the workers of my state. No, he said, while watching the impeachment trial, literally said, this is Josh Mandel, watching this sham and unconstitutional impeachment has made my blood boil and motivated me to run for the U.S. Senate. It's sickening to see radical liberals and fake Republicans in Washington engage in this second assault on President Donald Trump and the millions of us who supported him. Josh Mandel is running for office to defend Donald Trump, a man who incited a terrorist attack. And we know incited a terrorist attack because countless Trump supporters who sieged the Capitol told us that's why they did it. We don't have to guess. They're telling us why. And then Josh Mandel got endorsed today by the Club for Growth, which is a business group, which is a moderate business group. But even then, this moderate business group is now part of the Trump world, where they're endorsing white supremacy, anti-transgender bigotry off the charts, anti-Muslim bigotry, and the use of violence. And look at what's going on in Oklahoma. I just wrote about a man named John Bennett. Most of you don't know John Bennett. I've been writing off and on about John Bennett since 2014, the time he was a state-elected GOP representative. He is now running for state chair of the GOP party. He's probably going to win. Let me tell you about this man. In one word, first of all, despicable. The reason I was writing about him in 2014, I view him as patient zero in mainstreaming anti-Muslim bigotry and making it acceptable to the GOP. What I mean by that, 2014, when he was a state rep in Oklahoma, he declared that Islam is a cancer that should be cut out of America. He said all Muslims are trying to overturn this country and destroy it. Now, usually when Republicans in the past had said garbage like that, 10 days later they would walk it back or say it was out of context. They didn't mean it that way. No, John Bennett showed Republicans a different path. He did not walk it back. He did not apologize. And this is way before Trump. This is 2014. He doubled down. He tripled down. He said he had a rally where he got a standing ovation. The Republican chair at the time applauded him. And then when he went on, he said, Muslim Americans who subscribe to Islam are just as bad as ISIS. So every Muslim who's a practicing Muslim is just like ISIS. And then he moved up in the GOP. And people like Ben Carson saw that. Donald Trump saw it, others. Because the year later is when they started running for president. They saw you can use open anti-Muslim bigotry. But John Bennett's not just an anti-Muslim bigot. As we all know, bigots tend to hate many people. He's also a racist. He called Michael Brown a thug. He slammed the Obama administration for sending someone to what he called a thug's funeral. And of course, he wrote sarcastically in all caps, of course, this has to be the fault of the white cop. And he wrote white in big letters because this is what the white supremacists are about. And the state Democratic chair of Oklahoma, who's going to be on the show later, made it very clear. John Bennett is a racist. He's a white supremacist. This is someone from Oklahoma telling you this. Here's the thing. And when he announced he was running, he, of course, invoked Donald Trump. And listen to the words he used. It's just like Donald Trump's words on January 6th to the crowd. He said, patriots can no longer afford to circle the wagons. It's now time to lead the way and storm the beaches to take back the republic that we hold so dear. And he also had posted a picture of Hillary Clinton on Facebook and wrote 2 words, firing squad. He's endorsing white supremacy, anti-Muslim bigotry, and violence for political gain, just like Trump. This is the face of the GOP. I hope he wins. I hope he becomes the national GOP chair, because that's all they deserve. I mean, who do you really want? Do you want the quiet bigot who doesn't say things out loud or use things in code, or this man who represents today's GOP? The GOP/MAGA is not a political party. It's a fascist movement, which will, as the majority, will demonize the minority. And now they've added the threat of violence. It's going to continue. Sadly, it won't get better until the GOP elected officials and Donald Trump himself are imprisoned. That's it. And I mean the Republicans involved in the actual terrorist attack, not ones who just simply objected. That's not a crime. They had that right to do that. I mean those who were involved in talking to the rioters before they went there, who gave them reconnaissance tours of the Capitol, told them where to go, where places are. Those people should go to jail, very clearly. We'll talk about that and more in my show. We have a great show. Congressman Ro Khanna is going to join us. We've got Amanda Marcotte, of course, the Oklahoma State Democratic chairs, who's great, is going to join us, tell us how they are trying to rebuild the Democratic Party in Oklahoma to end GOP dominance. And I hope you listen so you can help them out. Perhaps if you live in Oklahoma, get involved, make a donation. Show's live 6 to 9 p.m. If you don't subscribe to SiriusXM, go to the website, SiriusXM.com. There are free trials. Join it. Get a free trial. Call into my show. Be a part of our family. We've got a lot of work to do to save this country, my friend. If you want progress,